Rachel. Hi.
Hello, GM, everybody who's tuning in. We have a very special live stream today. We're joined by Victoria and Tim from the B3 team, and we are celebrating 1 year of B3 today, you guys.
Woo!
Woo!
Where's
And
that
we did
enthusiasm?
it. We survived 1 year in crypto. It was like 10 years in the
that's
regular
10
world.
years,
So
yes.
really,
Right?
it's a decade, guys.
And another like kind of element of serendipity here is that On-Chain Media is actually celebrating 1 year as well this month. So definitely a big moment for celebration for B3 and for On-Chain Media. Hence, we're doing this live stream today. We just want to kind of look at the year in review for B3, the milestones they've accomplished, what they've been able to do in the past year, and kind of looking ahead as well. And we got some alpha today, you guys. They're going to be dropping some announcements here live, so very excited to get into it. But yeah, Bill, I'll pass it over to you if you have anything you want to kick off with.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bill, and I'm excited to be here. I love these streams. I love talking to amazing projects, teams. B3 is no different. They are an absolute legend in the space. Shout out to Daryl. Had lunch with him and Rachel a couple weeks ago. Straight A Chad, and I know B3 is an amazing company. So I'm looking forward to this, and always fun to stream with you, Rachel. So
100%. And I got to give a shout out to Daryl. I thought he'd be on here today. He is definitely goated, Chad. He is missed. And yeah, Daryl, if you watch this, we'd love to connect with you again and just do content with you guys whenever. So very excited to kick things off today. So why don't we go around and just do some introductions? I know, Victoria, I've had you on before, but if you don't mind just kind of recapping who you are, what your role is, and what you do at B3, and then we'll pass it over to Tim.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us on. We're so excited. Our anniversary of launching mainnet is on 8/3, so 8/3B3.
Nice.
Yeah, we're super excited about that and excited to kind of share all the updates here. But I'm Victoria. I'm one of the co-founders of NPC Labs. Myself and Daryl and Sean are on the leadership team. We are core contributors to B3. And a very special guest of ours today is Tim, who has been on a couple of live streams before, but we're super excited. He is our head of marketing. I'll let him do a little intro on himself as well and his background.
I'm Tim. I work closely with Victoria. I came from Rainbow prior to B3. And prior to that, I was working in like music and like more heritage ad campaigns for like Samsung and stuff like that. But yeah, super excited to be here. B3's won. I've been here for probably 8 months now. Yeah, 9 months.
It's true. So Tim was one of the
two
first
crypto years.
Yeah.
That's if my math is correct.
Exactly. Tim's interesting because we worked really closely while I was at Coinbase and Base. We worked closely with the Rainbow Wallet team. And I loved working with Tim. I thought he had the greatest ideas. He's an incredible executor. And so when we left Coinbase, Tim was the first person I reached out to. And I was like, yo, how happy are you right now? And he was like, pretty happy, man. I don't know. And I was like, how about we hang out and you tell me just how happy is and whether you'd be interested in joining the team. And so after a couple of conversations, we were incredibly fortunate to have Tim leave his team at Rainbow, join the team at B3, and really put us on the map with his brilliant ideas on the marketing side.
Wow, I love it. I feel like the B3 team just has so much talent. Just everyone I've met so far, it's just an all-star team. I know you guys have done a lot with Base, Coinbase during your tenure there. And Victoria, I got to give you a shout out because, you did the On-Chain Summer branding for the very first On-Chain Summer, right?
Yes. So On-Chain Summer was the first, it was our mainnet launch, right? We had Base testnet, we did the Blue Dot campaign. And then for mainnet, we were like, okay, well, everybody launches their mainnets for their chains with just a call to the builders, like, yo, come build with us. And there's really nothing for users to do in those early days. And so we wanted to be different. And the difference that we created was On-Chain Summer. And it was an experience that lasted for 6 weeks. Every single day, you'd be able to mint a new experience. We partner with a bunch of really cool teams, including Rainbow Wallet for some of these mints. And so it really kickstarted the whole Base is for everyone. Everyone can build on Base. We want to bring in the next 100 million users. And it's so exciting and rewarding to see that On-Chain Summer continues to live. Like the first year, we had it last year. We're having it this year again with the Base app too. So it's incredible. It's phenomenal to see all the momentum.
Let me ask you this a quick question, because it's always good to talk to people from Coinbase before and then leaving, and obviously that's very comfortable. It's a good, obviously great job, security, and then to make the leap into Web 2 or Web 3 as a entrepreneur without that safety blanket and literally launch the unknown. It takes a different mindset, which I respect as an entrepreneur. But tell me about you two, like starting with you, Victoria, like how difficult of a decision was it for you to leave the safety of Coinbase to venture and start your own thing? It must have been hard, no?
Yeah, Bill, very, very hard. You're right. And that the benefits, the team, Brian Armstrong's leadership, like all of that plays into it. The stock, right? Like you get a coin, it's crushing it. It was a very difficult decision, but at its core, it was based on what we truly believe in. And when we launched Base and when we saw the growth and the opportunity there, we realized that Base can't do it all. Base is going to be the financial home for every single app. It's where tokens should live. It's where financial experiences should live. It's where the on-ramping and off-ramping needs to happen. They're going to build the most incredible tools. But when it comes to various verticals, the team's never going to pick a lane. They're never going to be like, we're all in on just consumer. We're all in on DeFi. We're all in on gaming. And so that's where we figured the best case for us is to build on Base and help grow the Coinbase and Base momentum by having some of us deploy our own thing and creating this incredible experience. And so that's where it was really exciting for me and Daryl and Sean on the leadership team, our engineers as well. But I am curious to hear about Tim, because Tim came from Rainbow. He didn't come from Coinbase, but nevertheless, very cushy job. I mean, Rainbow's crushing it too.
It was definitely cushy, and I worked with literally like two of my best friends, Mike and Christian, who started the company. But no, honestly, I loved working with Victoria during On-Chain Summer. And so when she hit me up, I was like, the idea of like working with her every day, I was like, this could be fun. I've been at Rainbow for 3 years. I've done a lot. I think it's time for a change. And like, I think with starting companies, like the most important thing is the team and like trust.
The team is everything.
Yeah. So I think like Daryl and Victoria and just the base people, these base people who I had worked with in the past, was like I had a lot of confidence in
Absolutely
them.
Goated, yes.
Building anything, I was like, okay, like I'm in. So.
Yeah, and I just love that, like your vibe kind of attracts your tribe on chain, and just all of the all-star talented people you've cultivated for this. It just makes me very bullish to see everything you guys are doing. And I am curious, I know we have a lot of updates to go into today, but is there anything coming up on the roadmap? I don't know if we want to touch on, previous milestones and kind of work our way there. What do you think of, Victoria?
Yeah, I think it might be worthwhile to just give a really quick TLDR, like 20 seconds.
Yeah, like what is B3? Yeah.
Yeah, what is
B3? And what you've done.
Absolutely. So we launched Mainnet on A3 last year in Singapore. We had a really cool, immersive, gamified experience where we brought in some of the partners that we closed to create these zones where you would go in and you step into the parallel world, or you step into the mighty action heroes world from Goat Gaming. And so each of these had its own unique vibe to it. And it was such a great kickoff. We had the Singapore lead from Coinbase come and speak, and kind of a call to action of like, hey, this is incredible. Let's all build together. Gaming is Southeast Asia. Like folks in China, Singapore, the Philippines, Vietnam, they're building incredible experiences, and you all should be building with B3 and on Base. And so that was kind of the start for us. And we set out to usher in the next golden era of gaming, because gaming has just been so stagnant. We keep seeing the same sequels and remakes over and over again, and we're not seeing the innovation because teams that are building the next Minecraft aren't getting funded by big publishers. They're getting shut down. They would rather invest in The Last of Us, remake number 10, because they know it's a cash cow, and HBO's just come out with season 2 and season 3's on the horizon, rather than invest in the next, again, Minecraft.
I was going to say, it's kind of like that in Hollywood too. Like they kind of go with what they know has been successful, the safer option. Yeah.
Exactly. And Tim knows this all too well, coming from the music industry and being a model, by the way. Tim is a model. He was actually in a Madison Beer.
What does he not do? That might be
Yeah,
easier.
what doesn't Tim do? He plays in a band. Anyway, I could go on a whole list of all the things that he does. But it's a monopoly, and so that monopoly needs to be broken up, and we need to give power back to the builders and not have them rely so much on publishers. And so that's what we set out to build, and we've closed an incredible amount of partners who are 2 years, 3 years into building out these Minecraft-like games, and it's still going to take them a little bit of time. And so while we give them time to build these games, while we fund them to have them be able to pay their staff, in the meantime, for the last 11 months, well, 12 now, our team hasn't been just sitting on our hands. Our superpower is we have an incredible BD team, and we have an incredible S-tier level product and engineering team. A lot of the engineers actually came from Coinbase and builders from Vietnam who are incredible. And so we've built and shipped 10 products in the last 11 months.
Wow.
Because we're not going to rely on, just waiting for things to hit. And so we try a lot of things. We try, some of them fail, some of them succeed. And so it's kind of our motto in how we operate. We do things in a very unorthodox way. We only ran testnet for a month. We went straight to mainnet right after. 7 months later, we launched the token. We weren't interested in having people come in and start farming or locking up their tokens and boosting TVL. We believe TVL needs to live on the liquidity layer, which is Base. Base has all of the DeFi products you could possibly want. You shouldn't be migrating your token to an L3 or a different L2. And so we've been laser focused in on that. Base is the liquidity layer. We are building on top of Base, and we're creating this interoperable ecosystem. For some of our gaming partners, they didn't want to deploy on just B3. They want their own chain. They want their own stack. They have 20 million active players. We have a partner called Super Gaming, and they have, again, 20 million active players of their games. They're not interested in sharing block space or having gas costs spike up or spike down. They want it to be a consistent experience and for blockchain to power these experiences. And so we launch app chains for these folks, and we have 5 of those. They're in testnet right now, soon to be on mainnet as well, and you can play around and kind of see what's going on there. And so while we were building this, and this kind of brings me to today, the interesting piece is, as our BD team was talking to the game studios and the game devs, we also were in touch with some of the partners that I worked at really closely at Coinbase at my previous BD roles. For example, I worked really closely with the NBA, the Bulls, the Knicks, all of those NFT experiences, Coca-Cola, Warner Brothers. And so while we had those conversations with game publishers, some of my old contacts reached out and they were like, hey, we're seeing with the new administration, crypto is like on the table again, and we're interested in innovating. Is there anything we could do with you? And that was a little bit of an aha moment for us, where the issues that game developers are faced with are the same issues that these legacy brands and enterprises are faced with, and really consumer apps. When you grow to a certain scale, you don't want to share block space. You don't want to have variable gas costs. You want to own the full stack. You want your token to power that experience. And that's really where we come in. And so this new expansion of ours is really to include the consumer, the legacy, the enterprise brands to be able to set up their own chains for their users with the seamless interop that we have, where you don't need to bridge, switch networks. You're able to tap on Base liquidity. You're able to really have users participate in the experience and the fun, rather than the barriers to entry that crypto brings in when you deploy elsewhere. And so we're super excited. We have a couple of products that we can share more on, but I do want to pause there because I feel like I've just been ranting for a bit here.
I mean, this is all really, really great information. And I would love to screen share and maybe just give a peek at the website and show everything that you guys have been able to build over this past year. And then maybe we can start, spilling some alpha beans here in a few.
Can we just also comment on how passionate you sound? And I love that.
She's locked in. She's locked in.
That is locked in. It's like, I am focused. That's what you want to see from a founder, a team member. Like, if you're on the sidelines, like when people come on my show, I always put a segment about finding out people's why and all that stuff, because passion matters. And so, Victoria, I'm just saying, you're cooking.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, and
Means a lot.
I
How's
am
that you?
curious to hear like why you guys are so passionate about this. I mean, you had it sounds like very successful careers and like you didn't have to do this, but this sparked something in you. Like you wanted to show up and experiment and try something different. So I'm curious for both of you what that reason is, why you're so passionate about this.
Yeah, Tim, do you want to go? I feel like I've just been talking forever.
You're hot. I feel like keep shooting.
Okay, I can go. The thing is, I fell in love with crypto and everything that crypto offered at its core back when I was in college. And I've been on the sidelines trading and holding Bitcoin and Ethereum and, Litecoin and whatnot. And I think when I was really working deeply at Coinbase, the barriers to entry were the most frustrating thing. I couldn't actually onboard my parents. I couldn't actually even onboard my younger sister who's Gen Z, and like Gen Z should be cool with tech.
Yeah.
Yet, like it was just beyond comprehension for her to be like 12-word seed phrase, like what I do what with it, and I can't save it on my computer. I have to like write it down on a piece of paper and lock it in a safe. Like I don't have a safe. Like what do I do with this? And so this on-ramping and user experience is really preventing us from scaling crypto to the masses, from bringing something that I think all of us here and everybody on crypto Twitter is so passionate about. We found our niche, right? Like we found our niche, we went deep into it, and we're cool. But for a lot of people, they're not going to necessarily be able to get that passionate about DeFi. It's still very complicated. They're not going to get that passionate about just minting NFTs. They want to try a bunch of different things and find the one thing that really resonates with them. And so for us, it was like, well, the thing preventing people from trying all of these experiences and finding their niche is the onboarding. The user experience
Right.
is shit. And so somebody needs to tackle it. It's not the sexiest problem to tackle ever. There's not a lot of money to be made in it oftentimes. And so for us, it was like, how can we really tap into making crypto feel not scary, but making it feel safe? And gaming was that kind of lever that we pulled. Everybody has a crush on their phone.
And you're just like pulling on the heartstrings of everyone. Like pretty much everyone I've connected with in crypto at some capacity has some level of gaming background, whether they're a casual gamer or like, on esports teams. That is such a big for whatever reason. Like, I mean, we're like a bunch of nerds here, so I feel like it makes sense,
Yeah, exactly. And so, that's why. And it's like, it's a big problem to solve, but if not us, then who? And so we're excited to be here and kind of do this together. But I do want to, share a little bit of alpha and kind of what we've built.
Alpha,
Let's
please.
do
We love
it.
alpha.
Let's go.
Incredible. Am I able to share my screen here?
Of course.
Okay.
Just share it.
Awesome. I'm going to share a couple of things. Okay. So first and foremost, I want to share the B3 Explorer. Is it showing up for you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, incredible. So one of the biggest, again, when you're talking about normies and you're like, yo, come check this out, save this 12-word seed phrase and then process these transactions and then go to Etherscan to see what you just did, that Etherscan experience is god-awful. And so for us, we were like, if we're bringing fun on chain, we want everything to be super easy to understand for users. How do we do that? How do we really make it intuitive? And so we built the B3 Explorer, and it's super interesting because it's really the discovery layer for everything in the B3 ecosystem. You're able to check on various transactions that are happening. You can see what chains are live. So when I mentioned we have B3 as the core chain, and then we have game chains that are launched on testnet, you can check every single one of them out here. And so when you go to explore a specific chain, you can kind of see what the performance, what the transactions look like. You can click into a specific block and it has this.
Ooh, this looks so fun.
Yeah, it's a very intuitive,
I love like all the interactive mechanisms and design too. I'm curious, Victoria, have you shown this before ever or shared this ever before now?
No.
This is the very first time we're getting alpha here,
Let's
you
go.
guys.
Only.
And yeah,
Okay.
I'm just so excited about this. I mean, you're prioritizing indexing. I think that's so important for folks using this, and it's fun. It's interactive. You haven't slouched on the design, which is very nice because you're prioritizing making it fun and engaging.
Exactly. And the cool thing is, outside of just seeing what the blocks are, you can also play a little game here with like when I move my cursor around, and you can it lights up every time there's a transaction, so you can actually click into it and view more if you want like to see what a specific.
This is so fun.
But also there's apps. So we created for users, right? If you're a builder, the Explorer is awesome. If you are just a user who wants to try their hand at doing something for the very first time, you can explore the various apps we have. And so we have something we call Spawn, which is a cute little generative NFT where you choose what collection you want. So let's just say I want like a mini. You go into it and you see everything that's been created. And when you hit Spawn New, you actually include a prompt. So it's similar to ChatGPT, where you can say like, create a tiny ant for me, or create a little puppy for me wearing a party hat that says B3 on it. And it literally will do all of that for you. If we go into the ones that I've recently created, you can kind of see that
so cute elephant with a banana and a bowler hat.
Exactly, a bowler hat, you know, and it knows it's not going to give it a baseball cap. It's not going to give it just like a knit cap. It's going to give it a bowler hat, and it's holding a banana. And so it's stylized in all of these different themes. And you can kind of choose, like, do you want a little chubs? Do you want a little anime version of yourself? That you can also upload a photo of yourself, and it will kind of create that. I tried to recreate Ciri from The Witcher, which is one of my favorite games of all time. Wow. And so again, like, you got the two swords, it's The Witcher, and you can create these. So that's one of the cool apps. The other one is what we call Bond. Bond is interesting because it allows you to basically do what Pump Fund does. It's a bonding curve minting experience. You can come in and you can either like figure out like, oh, okay, this token's already bonded, cool. This one is bonding right now, a test token. You can see who's buying in, you can see who's selling, you can leave comments.
It's clever that you leaned into like the Bond, like the little frog with a gun, like James Bond and bonding curves. I see what you did there.
Yeah. And the really cool thing is when you bond a token, if the token reaches the leaderboard and it is the #1 token for the week, we launch a game for it. And so similar to how we have Toshi's Fishing Frenzy or the Brett game, a game is launched specific for that token, and that token is used inside of the game as utility. And whoever created the token, whoever launched it, we hand over the smart contract to them. And so they are able to own this game, own the token, and build out a community around it. And so it's not just launching a token on a launch pad and like hoping people buy in for the memeability of it. This token will have its own game. The game will live on Basement Fun, and all the games are going to be here to see like what game made it, what game got to like King of the Hill, if you will.
I think one thing that's very exciting about like this whole like, you know, app store is that, you know, this is as much a developer tool as it is a user tool. So like right now we're looking at this from the user perspective, but all of these tools right now that we've deployed are built with primitives that that developers can then take. So like Bond is built with BondKit, and we want to basically make it easy for, you know, Prime Chain, their Parallel. They want to build a whole experience. They want to build a whole world around their IP, and they want to like build experiences and stuff. They don't have to, like, if they decide to build some sort of token deployer, like they don't have to do it. They can use this as a primitive and then build from there. So making the sort of going from creating a chain to having a whole tool set, having a whole experience, having a community, we're really trying to like make that as streamlined as possible.
Yeah, this is incredible. I feel like you're leveraging like all of the things. Like it's just such a comprehensive project. You have AI, you have hardware, you have on-chain gaming, blockchain. It's like you guys really have packaged up so many different things while still keeping it focused, you know? So I love that. Also, hey, to all of our listeners, I just checked our accounts. We got a couple hundred on the B3, like 100 or so on both Bill's and mine. So shout out to everyone who is watching from wherever you're tuning in from. And feel free to drop your questions in the comments. If you have a question for either Victoria or Tim, feel free to drop it. We are watching the comments. And I know, Bill, you have a hard stop coming up, so not sure if there's any other questions you have.
Bill, you're muted.
Hold on. Can you guys hear me? Mic check.
Yeah.
Right. What? Mic check? Okay. You can hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
You're back.
All right. So tell me, the next, let's say 6 months, where would you like to see B3 at?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Tim.
Well, I think first thing, Victoria's going to say something amazing, but first things first. I think that what we had just announced today and yesterday on our birthdays, like it's not just gaming, it's fun, and I think we've sort of laid the groundwork for that. We've showed you sort of the ecosystem explorer and all the tools that'll sort of make that a singular, like, cohesive experience. But I think next is you're going to see the types of projects that sort of reach beyond gaming and sort of making very clear in a show not tell way, like, this is what they're doing, and this is, we have a lot of new app chain partners coming as well. So
I'm excited about that. Are we able to discuss any of the upcoming partnerships, or no? Is that
I don't think so.
How do you guys-
that alpha's
you
too hot?
mention
That alpha's
names?
too hot.
How do you guys sleep?
But we can't mention names, but we can say that they are Fortune 5 companies.
Wow.
And so we're very, very excited about that, and just some of the consumer experiences too.
Real quick question. I'm sorry, Victoria. Do you guys have? I think we're chatting. Do you guys have a mini app already ready or on the base app?
Launching this week.
Okay.
Woo, let's
Yes,
go.
launching
We're
this
all,
week.
everyone here is gonna have a mini app by this week. That's awesome.
Rachel has one. I have one. When you guys
all
launch
locked
the
in.
mini app next week, let's live demo it in the air. Do whatever we want to.
Love
I've been really focusing myself personally on mini apps and the developers and the teams behind it. So I want to talk to literally all the top people, because I think the base app is exactly where things are going to go, and the users today, 2 years from now, are going to be massively huge. I'm betting on
Yeah, and
that
I am
big.
curious, Victoria, with your background in marketing and branding. I mean, you did the marketing and look of On-Chain Summer. I'm curious what your thoughts are around the Base app and kind of the new branding unveil for Base.
Yeah, so interestingly, the Base app was in development when we were still there a year ago. Sean, who's our CTO and my co-founder, was one of the engineers that put together the initial PRD, the product roadmap doc, for engineers to build on it. And so it was something that's been in the works for a long time. I think the interesting thing about it is the way that it was initially envisioned, and what Jesse actually launched was an incredible testament to the vision that Jesse has. He deeply, deeply understands what crypto on-chain consumer experiences need to be like. And so his goal wasn't to just copy Telegram or copy Instagram, which is something we see so much of. Like, you just see copycats of one product or another. With the Base app, what they did an incredible job of is just creating this crypto culture app in its own right, that isn't, mirroring or playing off of any specific other app. And that's where you see kind of these experiences come forward, where the masses on board, because it just makes sense. And so it's incredible to watch. Not surprised at all. Jesse's amazing. So yeah, very impressed.
Yeah, and I think it really meets people where they're at. It's kind of like on-chain has to be like online, right? Online, whatever your interests are, whatever your niche is, you can go online and find what you want to do. And I think that this is that step towards progressing towards that for the on-chain space with the Base app.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
Incredible. And by the way, Rachel, look at this comment. I think you'd like this one.
Let's see. Oh, no one. Thank you, no one.
Well deserved. I
appreciate
mean, you're stepping it up. I mean, man,
you guys, I've been like,
peasant
this
compared to
took
you.
a long time. I built up, just like fun little thing. I had to like dopamine hack my space. I'm like, if I'm gonna be at my computer for all these hours, I gotta make it fun. I gotta make it like a rave in here. You know what I mean? So, got the neon light.
You're doing it, man. We have boring backgrounds, bills, and the work. I mean, good God.
If I'm gonna be doing this full time, yeah, I figured why not make the setup fun. And I customize the color for whatever guests I have on, so it's blue for B3 today. And
Wow.
yeah, just having fun with it. Thank you, no one.
Damn, the thought.
All right. Well, Tim and Victoria, before we wrap things up, any last words that you have for the over
Or
600
final
people
calls to action.
tuning in today?
Check out the Explorer. We also have an incredible product called AnySpend. I won't go through it, but it's the ability to on-ramp anyone. If you have tokens on Solana, meme coins that you aren't able to use, you're actually able to pay for assets on Base using those tokens without bridging or switching networks. So the long tail of assets where you maybe have $1, $2, whatever it is, AnySpend lets you kind of aggregate that and pay for an NFT or a Zora token or whatever it is on base without you having to bridge or switch networks, which is, again, those barriers to entry that are preventing people from actually using this ecosystem and like crypto. We're slowly but surely chipping away at it and making it a usable experience.
That is incredible. I am curious too. I don't know if anyone's down to do a giveaway today, but I would love to see people go create their characters using B3. Is that something people can do now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So, all right, I want to do a little $50 in USDC giveaway. For those of you that are watching or tuning in from wherever, just retweet this stream. Make sure you're following myself, Bill, and B3.fun. And go ahead and create your character, and we'll go through whoever does this and put screenshots of doing the things. Just drop it in a comment, and we will select one of you as our winner today.
I love it. And you know what? Let's triple it. B3 will put in another $100.
Let's
So
go.
let's do it.
150.
Yeah. Go to the Explorer, go to Spawn, and then choose a little Chubbs character or an anime or a little pixel, whatever it is. Show us a screenshot of it, and let's do it.
All right, after this, I'm gonna go make my character. I don't want to be a part of the giveaway. I just want to show you guys what's possible because I love cute little characters. So if I can create one with B3, I'm very excited about that. So yeah, just to reiterate for the giveaway, for those of you watching, you have to retweet the stream from wherever you're tuning in from, doesn't matter. And then follow myself at Rachel on Chain, Bill at Late Night on Base, and B3 at B3.fun. And go create your character, and excited to see what everyone creates.
Amazing. All right, everyone. Well, thank you. I guess this wraps up a short, sweet episode with B3. Tim, Victoria, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
guys.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye.
everyone. Cheers.
Bye.